What is up, YouTube? Welcome to Trevor's Vinyl World. Thank goodness I just got done with the work. It is, it's like almost 6 a.m. here in Minnesota. Still kind of dark out. I kind of like this time of day. Feel like kind of got the world to myself. Feel like I'm the guy in I Am Legend, where there's just nobody around. It's kind of nice, peaceful. Today I want to talk a little bit about the band Bush. Underappreciated. They kind of came out at the wrong... the timing was bad. Kurt Cobain had passed away in 1994. Sure, Bush was established in 1992 in London, but they didn't really hit it big until like 95, 96. I still remember the movie Fear with Mark Wahlberg, Alyssa Milano, was it Reese Witherspoon? Just a great like Mark Wahlberg as a psychopath. Yeah, I like that. But there's two Bush songs in that movie. You had Machine Head and Come Back Down. But no, Bush, I might end up covering a bunch of their albums. Everyone knows about their most famous album, I think, was 16 Stone. That's the one that most people go to. But they had some other good ones too. They had one called The Science of Things that was really good, and some other ones. But I just think, they came out at kind of a weird time. You know, like grunge had already been established, and you had Pearl Jam, you had Nirvana, you had Alice in Chains, and then here comes this band from London, and they were almost just a little too polished. Kind of like, Nirvana had Bleach, which was too rough, but then Nevermind was pretty polished. And I think Kurt Cobain was kind of smart to tone it back a little bit. And even though they didn't sell as much with In Utero and things like that, I think Nirvana had the right idea that you don't want to be too polished. And I think Bush was very polished. But I still like the songs, and Gavin Rossdale, I mean, I think people don't like the accent. I think certain guys were sort of punished a little bit, or weren't as popular as maybe they could have been because of their accent. I always think of Tom Petty. I think there's some people, like my dad can't stand Tom Petty. It's like, he don't even care. I'll try to say, hey, he's got some really good songs. And my dad's like, nope, not doing it. Not listening to Bob Dylan, not listening to Tom Petty. He can't stand it. But I think Gavin Rossdale, he had the thick accent. He was a good looking guy. Just a really handsome fella. And I think it was sort of held against him in a way, and obviously the women loved him. And I actually went to a concert of his. My girlfriend at the time, she was a huge Bush fan. She kind of got me into them. And but I just think they're a totally underrated band. They just came out the wrong time. There's no better way to explain it than that, really. And I know Dave Parsons was the original bass player. You had Nigel, I want to say Nigel Pulsford was lead guitar. Robin Goodridge was their drummer. And of course, Gavin Rossdale was lead vocalist and guitarist. Their lineup did change when they're kind of one of those bands that were around, then they broke up, then they came back. They've sort of had a good second run at it of late. That's why, I think I am going to cover some of their albums on my channel, because, like I said, everybody knows about 16 Stone. I believe it came out in 95. It's got some great songs on it. Everything Zen, Glycerine. The whole album is just a banger. And The Science of Things was, I believe, their third album, and I have that as their second best. Just a great album. They had one that was called The Art of Survival. That was really good. No, they weren't a one-trick pony. And I think, I think like it didn't help Gavin Rossdale that he's from the UK, and people back in the 90s in America just really couldn't identify with that. And they just seemed a little not as genuine as I guess they should have been or whatever. But, now we're talking 30 years later, when you look back and you listen to some of these songs and some of their newer albums, they got some great songs. They're good musicianship. The lyrics are a little basic, but I mean, so was Nirvana. So I just think that they're like a well-polished Nirvana. So I think people hold that against them. But if you just want to put something on and you're cruising for a half hour, I think they're a great rock band. So yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Bush, and not too much else going on. I want to say that I have a couple of vinyls of Bush, but I have to look through, and one of them it's not the 16 Stone album. I want to say it's like a live concert, and actually I don't know that I've opened it, but I had gotten a good deal on it, so yeah. But anyways, I hope everyone is doing well, and not too much other news going on. So just wanted to bring that up about Bush. Thought there was, let's see, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. I guess they were popular. I know that they sold over 10 million records just in the 90s. So it isn't that they weren't successful, but I do feel like Bush got a little too much hate, and nowadays they're sort of maybe not remembered in the best light the way that they could have been. Like, everyone thinks about Nirvana and Soundgarden and Alice in Chains and Pearl Jam and what's that other one that Stone Temple Pilots, and Bush is right after them. Like if all of them were around from 91 and to 96, and Bush was right in that 1995 timeline. And I'm not saying like they deserve to be on the same pedestal as Nirvana and Soundgarden, but darn, if Nirvana and those are A tier, then I think Bush has got to at least be B tier. Yeah, so anyways, hope everyone is doing well. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and talk to you guys later. Have a good one.